Hey y'all, I decided in my best ideas that I should be continuing to learn new things, to try new things during this coronavirus. So I thought what I would do today is do a video on my reaction to using a Hydrobat. So some of you may be asking, what is a Hydrobat? It is a bat that is made out of plaster. And it is not ordinary plaster. It is like I think it's Hydrocal, something like that. It is a plaster that has other things in it, so that it is more dense than regular plaster, and it will hold up to being a bat a little bit better. The reason that these are supposedly good is that you could throw whatever you throw on it, you don't have to wire off. That the plaster will continue pulling the moisture out of the clay. And then that way, if I were to throw a plate or a platter on this, I wouldn't have to wire it off. I could just set it aside and it would naturally pop off, and then I wouldn't lose that much clay, and less chance of warping. So let's see how it works. So the first thing is it's got rubber grommets in the holes for the bat pins. So the way I usually do this is I put 2 fingers on one side and get myself in the right position. And then once you've found one hole, the other one's pretty easy to put in. My first thoughts is pretty snug. Doesn't seem to be a lot of wiggle here. Maybe a little. Tighten up my bat pins just to make sure. Okay, so I understand that when you do this, you're supposed to wet down the bat a little bit because the clay won't stick. I should turn on my wheel first. So I'm going to do that. And you can see the water sinks right in. This is just my throwing water from the other night. Good amount. Dry my hands a little. I've got about 4.5 pounds of Laguna 50 clay here to make a platter with, so let's get started. So my first thoughts are it's not much different than a regular bat. It's a little nicer on my hands than some. I was just checking, it kind of felt like it might be off level a little. It doesn't seem to be, but maybe it was just a lump of clay that was, taking me, like, I know that some of you guys that have been in my classes for a while, I always say that your eyes will lie to you and your hands won't, and so that's what I was doing. I was just checking for level. It feels a bit off level, and it's weird. It's getting the clay off, like cleaning a regular bat. The clay's a lot drier, so it seems to be a little bit harder to get the clay off, like the slip that you've been, if you don't immediately clean the wheel. Yeah, you can feel that it's really dry right there. I'm going to try a rubber rib and see if that makes a difference. Yeah, that does seem to make a difference. It doesn't appear to be taking any plaster off. So this Hydrobat was actually gifted to me. So I didn't get, like, I don't know if they come with standard directions or anything on what not to use, but I would assume not to use any metal tools on this, just given that, you know, you don't want plaster in with your clay, and I think a metal tool would scrape on it. I like to use my forearm a lot when I'm doing plates. I can just lean down into it, and it helps me bring this down a little. So I think that'll take some getting used to too. So I feel like there's a little bit of a drag on my hands, you know, when the water gets soaked into the vat. Yeah, I think I have a habit of putting my pinky finger on the bat, and I don't think that's probably a good thing with this, because it feels like it starts to drag. Alright, I'm going to press a little bit. I'm going to use this splitting rib. Trying to make sure that I've got an even thickness from the center to the outside. I have a little bit of a low spot right in the center. I'm going to take the rib again, and I'm going to go to the middle, from the outside to the middle, and then back again. Let's start here. Alright, that's a 9-inch plate. I think I want to go out to about a 10-inch before I start. Got me to 9.5, so a little bit more to go. From here, I'm going to open up, push in just a little bit. Check my thickness. And find a needle tool. About a 1/4 inch. A little thinner than I would like, but I understand that on this that you're able to go a little bit thinner, so we'll see. that's okay. First time I'm using this, I wasn't expecting anything amazing, so if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm pressing a little bit because I felt some unevenness there. I can use the narrow end here. So. I got a little bit of a low spot right here in the corner. So now I'm going to go from that low spot toward the center. What I'm doing is I'm compressing as I start out at the 3 o'clock or maybe 4 o'clock position, going back to the center and back and forth. I'm going to check the depth 2 or 3 places just to make sure we're consistent here. Okay, it's thicker now on the corners. I'm going to be cutting some of this rim off. Just a lot of slip right there, and it just feels like maybe I got an air bubble or something. So I'm going to take some of this rim off. To do that, I'm using a needle tool. I'm going to use my inside hand to press the needle tool. I'm not going like this. I'm going like this, moving the needle tool toward my finger like that. When you move too quick. That was probably more clay than I needed to take off, but better safe than sorry. And I got plenty of clay there. Slow down, bad habit of mine. Going 900 miles an hour. Especially in front of students, which isn't good because they want to go 900 miles an hour anyway, even without seeing me do it. So, gotta practice what I preach, you know. I could leave this like this and I would have a nice casserole. Although it's round. Do they make round casseroles? Or is that a thing? Use my my sponge and just kind of tackle it right here on the edge of the, and do a little compressing. And then I'm going to take my chamois and do it again. I'm going to take a wooden knife, like so, and I'm going to take some of this clay off. Too much here. Rather do some wet trimming now than have to scrape it off later. Okay, this is harder to do. Really strange. See how much that came off in one piece? That's weird to me. But I'm going to put a little bit of a groove under there. It's an undercut. Hopefully will help it pop off. Try to get some of that extra plate. Sticking on the surface there when I got off the valve. I want to leave a little thickness at the top. You know, I expect if it's a functional piece that it's going to get used, and so it'll get banged around a lot. So I want to make sure that there's plenty of clay there that'll support it, so it'll be strong. I'm sort of doing a little compression, but I'm also sort of feeling for any unevenness or anything in the surface of the plate. And you know what? I think I'm going to leave it as like this casserole slash pie pan thing. Because why not? It's a practice piece anyway. It didn't have a... There was no special order involved here. It was just a... Let's try out this Hydrobat. I feel like there's still a lot of clay in that corner, like on the outside. I'm going to leave it for trimming. I want to make this like a deep dish pie plate. I'm going to just cock it up just a little bit. And I know it may look big for a pie plate right now, but remember this clay is going to shrink. So as of right now, at the top, it is 10 inches wide. So pie plates are 9 inches, right? So it should shrink to that. And I'm going to take, at the very top here, this is going to be a pie plate, and just kind of bring the rim out just a little. So that crust, that nice crust, that's my favorite part, will have a place to rest. I don't want it to go too far because I don't want it to, as it's trimming, I don't want it to, as it's drying, I don't want it to slump. Alright, so I'm told I don't have to wear it off or anything, I just leave it as is. I'll let you know how it goes. So you guys, here it is, it's about 10 o'clock or so maybe 8 hours since and I just tested a little bit ago and I saw that it came off cleanly. So I'm going to set this over here for a moment and let you look at the Hydrobat. You can see one of the things that I did like about this is that while it was stuck to the bat, I was able to do a little bit of surface design or surface decoration on my piece. You can see here that I did some chattering and I did a little circle in the middle. I also took a little bit off here. So feels pretty good. I mean, it's nice and firm. It's I'm not afraid that I'm going to warp it or anything. I do need to do a little bit more trimming just right down here in the corner, but I'm happy. So, alright, well, thanks for watching, y'all.